Look at this worm. Just like me and you, this worm has a brain, even though it's so tiny. This worm is very helpful to science because it lets us learn more about the brain and how it works. This tiny worm actually has some things in common with humans, so studying this worm's brain can help us understand more about our own brains. Because of how small and simple this worm's brain is, scientists have made a map of how it works. An example of something else that this worm has helped us understand is Alzheimer's disease, which is a sickness that causes you to lose your memory as you grow older. C. elegans are tiny 10mm long worms that have similar brain cells with humans. These brain cells are known as neurons. In addition, C. elegans are the simplest organisms to have a nervous system. Because of how simple their nervous systems are, C. elegans have been extremely helpful in research on brain diseases. For example, by studying these worms, a possible way to suppress Alzheimer's disease was discovered. Alzheimer's is a brain disease that causes people to slowly lose their memories over time. Also, mutations that cause problems in brain cell growth have been identified. Using C. elegans, connections between brain function and behavior could be understood. Through these experiments, scientists have learned many new things about how the nervous system works, as well as come up with new ways to study this system. The C. elegans is a small 10mm worm that shares some neurobiological characteristics with humans, which makes it convenient and useful for us to study. The human brain contains hundreds of billions of neurons, while the C. elegans contains only 302. And because of this simplicity, scientists have been able to completely map out the network of neuronal connections of the C. elegans, as well as determine the role of each neuron. This has opened the door for research on things like neurodegenerative diseases. For example, Alzheimer's disease was studied in these worms by adding human genes to it, which helped discover a possible way to suppress the disease. Moreover, mutations that cause axon growth defects were identified. The C. elegans has been useful in understanding the various networks in the brain that are linked to behavior. Since C. elegans glia, another cell in the brain, is similar to vertebrate glia, we use them as a model to study glia and their neuronal interactions. Through this model organism, the scientific community has made advances in the analysis of the mechanisms of the nervous system and behaviors, as well as developing technology to assess and manipulate these networks.